Hi, you guys. Wow, there's just so much I want to talk about. And those of you that I'm doing readings for, I have all of your emails. I haven't replied to all of them because honestly, when I start replying to everything, I start losing messages and I can't keep track of everything as well. But please know that I have your emails. I'm getting to your readings. Had some things this week just out of the blue, and then this news is crazy going on. A couple things. I just want to reiterate what Jen Lynn Tarot was speaking about tonight. Support all your readers. Please be respectful if you disagree with what people are picking up and sharing. Just as we have different personalities, our readings are going to have different personalities, and we're going to pick up different things. And it's how it is, and that's why it's so entertaining. There's so many things to think about. I mean, think about all the information we've just gathered collectively in this past year. I've been here since May, and I have absolutely loved it. My last piece of housekeeping is to remind you to please check your subscription status and your notifications with my channel and also the rest of the readers. It's really bad now, and I know that Revealing Light has been targeted by bots and trolls. It sounds like it got really out of control. For myself, especially this most recent reading that I did on Lindsey Graham, it's like I can watch the stats in real time and how they're just trying to shut it down. And nobody's even seen it posted at my community. And it's been up there for like 8 hours. And it's been over 24 hours since I posted a community post. So there's a lot of activity going on behind the scenes. And the reason why I want you to double check your status with subscription and notifications is because I have consistently had about 4,430 subscribers for the past month, and I love each and every one of you so much. The thing is that every day I have about 10 new subscribers, more. I can't even tell because I don't keep track of the list, but every day I see different names. So if I'm having about at least 10 new subscribers today and my subscriber list is staying the same, people are getting kicked out. Or they're being unsubscribed and they don't know it. Just like I just said that, it just reminded me of my stats, how in order to keep a certain level per hour or by the minute, I watch numbers get erased. So I just wonder if there's subscribers that are getting erased. It's crazy. So I want to talk about this new moon in Scorpio. This is more of like a listening video. I have been pondering deeply about this new moon in Scorpio intensely the past couple days. I wasn't expecting it. I knew it was around the corner. I knew it had some important pieces to it, but every time I look at it, I am just speechless at the power and force behind this new moon. And even if it wasn't Scorpio, because Scorpio is ruled by powerful planets of Mars and Pluto. Mars, the planet of war. Pluto, the planet of destruction, turbulence. Those are Scorpio's two rulers, life and death. The power behind Scorpio is immense in the new moon chart, especially with how Mars and Pluto are positioned. This is not a new moon eclipse by any means in Scorpio. I have already slipped and called it a new moon eclipse, but it isn't. However, the power packed behind it is like a strong eclipse because of the stuff it's going to hit and trigger. The sun just moved into Scorpio about a day and a half ago. Think of everything that's just been kind of jolted around. It's going to be that much more. And if you think back to July, July 2nd was the new moon eclipse. July 16th was the full moon eclipse in Capricorn, and that was a doozy. I think everybody was having a really hard time the second half of July. Well, this new moon in Scorpio is going to trigger all of that July for various reasons, but also because Pluto is one of Scorpio's rulers, so we're having kind of like the essence of that July all over again. And because the other ruler is Mars, which is a warrior, it's also going to be active like it was, I think it was, no, it was in Leo then, but it's going to be a tough month. Here's what I want you to know. This new moon, Mercury is going to turn retrograde. Mercury is the planet that's closest to the sun. It's our messenger. And Mercury retrograde means that a planet appears from our perspective to be moving backwards, when in actuality the planet is as close to us as it can be. But so let's see, planet Earth. We're on Earth. Mercury is over here. No, I'm not even going to do that. Because of our position as we go around the sun, and Mercury's position because of the way it goes around the sun, and Mercury makes a full orbits the sun within like 70 to 90 days. It makes a full orbit when it takes us 365 days. So it's like it's going around the Earth 3 times as fast, more than that. But there gets to be a point where we're just so far apart from the sun that even though Mercury is going forward, where our position is, you can't tell it's going forward, but we're moving, so it like looks, just from the geometry, the Mercury looks like it's moving backwards. But it's not. It's kind of like the two things that I think about are like at the Olympics when you're watching track and field, and how they start at different points around a track because, you know, the lanes are wider on the outside and they're, you know, it's a different distance. So they have to account for that by different starting points. And then it's like when these runners come around the corner and it seems like everyone is kind of going the same pace running, and then all of a sudden someone like pulls out of there and goes so fast. That is also an optical illusion. It seems like everyone's going the same pace, but they're not. Another way to think of it is if you've ever been at like a stoplight and you've had your foot on the brake, but for whatever reason, maybe you're not looking ahead or maybe you're looking down, but you notice in the corner of your eye the car next to you starts moving forward or backwards, and for a moment you don't know if you're moving forward or backwards, but it's them. That's kind of like that illusion of movement and your location, your positioning. So Mercury retrograde takes, it lasts for about 3 weeks, but we can feel Mercury slowing down, you know, a couple weeks beforehand. So Mercury's going to be retrograde in Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign, it's a cleansing sign. It's the sign that rules the organs of elimination. It's naturally breaks stuff down, and it's a purifier. It likes to get rid of BS. That's why Scorpios can always see through like the BS, and they won't have anything to do with it because they know the value of, they know the essence of things. They can just cut through that. That's why they can see the diamond in the rough. They know the essence of it. So naturally what's going to happen this month is that Mercury's going to retrograde, and it's going to just get crazy. It's just going to get goofy, dumb, crazy. And like we're going to be having debates and nobody's going to be able to figure out who's in front, because the thing is that Mercury rules electronics, communications, publications. Do not buy electronics during this time because they always get glitchy. Your electronics are going to start glitching out and it's going to be a problem. You don't want to sign big new contracts during this period because you always have to revisit and revise them unless it's something from the past that you already did and you're revising. The key word is you're revisiting things, and everything is going to seem like we're going to feel like, oh, hey, this is the truth. Now I know what really happened. And it's like, no, what you think is true during Mercury retrograde is not really true. You're just getting more information from what happened in the past. Because then when Mercury goes direct, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I thought that was true. It totally was not true. Well, it was not true because it's like that energy was getting flushed out of the system. So you got to see all sides of it. You're trying to make sense of it, but it's all in weird motion. And then when it straightens out, it's like, oh, that's what that was. And then the stuff that you don't need, it just drops away. And then we have a clear path, and then we can proceed. So Mercury retrograde is going to mess everything up, and plus Mercury is going to be squaring so much stuff with Leo from because there were planets in Leo while we were having the eclipses. So that's going to be giving a jolt. But the most important, two very important things. And then I'm going to talk about the really, 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 really good thing, okay? So 2 important things. This is the new moon chart in Washington, D.C. at 11:30 on Sunday. The sun and the moon are in the 4th house at 4 degrees. Look at all those 4s. The 4th house, so that is going to be squaring off with a bunch of things. But the most important thing I want you to see, opposite in the 10th house and the public skies of everything we can see, is the planet Uranus. It's at 4 degrees, 36 minutes, and it's retrograde. So the sun and moon after 11:38 p.m., I would even say by like noon, 12:15, things are going to start jostling and jolting. And definitely by later in the afternoon. Uranus is the planet of upheaval, surprises, unexpected news. It's the planet that's responsible for hurricane-force winds. It's responsible for those clearing skies after a storm when it's cold. Uranus is a revolutionary. It seeks freedom. It's a humanitarian. It's about science. It has to do with that laser brilliant insight associated with Einstein. So right off the bat, with this new moon, Uranus opposes Scorpio, and this sets the tone for the whole month over Washington, D.C. Jolting, shocking news. And because Scorpio is a feminine sign and Uranus now is in Taurus, disposited by Venus, the shocking information is going to have everything to do with money, women, children, assets. On top of it, Scorpio's rulers, we have Mars and Pluto in here. I am stunned that this Mars in Libra, not only is it in the 4th house, it is conjunct. It is conjunct the lower heaven, 15 degrees, 3 minutes. Mars is 15 degrees, 30 minutes. So it's like having everything that's bearing down on Washington, D.C. We have the planet of war and aggression and hostility. And then, this is what concerns me so much. This really, really concerns me. And I promise there's good news, but stick with me here. Saturn is 15 degrees Capricorn. Pluto is 20 degrees Capricorn. this is like a crucible. So those of you Libras, Capricorns, Aries, Cancer, who have your sun, your ascendant, your moon, anywhere between 15 degrees and 20 degrees, especially 17.5 degrees. So that would be like, this would be like 15, 12, 13, 14, 13, 14. So this would be like around, generally like from the 7th to the 12th of October, January, April, June. You guys must, please, I know we're not supposed to give directives. I don't want to attach your karma. I'm just trying to forewarn you guys. Watch your health, watch your safety, because this new moon is such a jolt. People are going to be out of their minds, and they're going to be retrograde, especially the ones who just can't deal with this anymore. And there's just such an easy setup for dangerous situations. Saturn is the planet of restrictions, obstacles. Think of a mountain. You want to go do something, and a mountain's in your way. It's really hard to get over that mountain, no matter what you do. And this Mars here is going to be very aggressive, acting and wanting to destroy the mountain. But once you get past the mountain, you have Pluto there, destruction. Whereas Uranus, like in a hurricane, rules the hurricane force winds, Pluto rules the destruction, if you want the analogy. Mars would be the one that's the energy behind the storm. This is what's happening. And somewhere there, oh my God, there is going to be something really bad with weather, especially when you start looking at these midpoints. So Mars in Libra, that's irritation, inflammation. Libra rules the kidneys, the adrenals, the lower back, maybe not the lower back, but also the breasts with women. Think about your body pH and keeping balance with that. Saturn rules the bones, particularly the knee. Pluto rules the organs of elimination and the sex organs. Uranus is up here. There's just such an opportunity for violence and accidents and prominent deaths. These are the setting conditions that we usually have when there's a lot of deaths that happen, and it's already happening. I mean, I've had a funeral this week and more stuff going on. So this month is going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but this is where why I want you to stay the course. Mind your inner Scorpio, you know, who have like ESP. They're always aware of things. They know what's going on. Don't put yourself out there, okay? Because what we want to do is to be able to cleanse and clean out everything that we can. And it's going to be hard. I mean, maybe, I don't know any of you guys who are into cleansing the body. After the full moon, it'll be a little bit easier if you want to add more juices and more waters. But after the full moon, your body just will not be able to handle any of that stuff before the full moon. And your body this month is going to use a ton of enzymes and a ton of minerals. Those things you must, you don't have to, supplement. And your bones are going to need all the help you can get, and maybe your ligaments, like your vitamin Bs, because this stuff is going to be stressed. If you're driving, don't be surprised if you see more accidents or hostile drivers. Just please be careful. And traveling will be difficult because of the Mercury Retrograde situation, and you might lose, it's more inclined to lose things. You just want to try to keep your cool, stay calm. It's going to be a challenge. But here's the good news. we clear all this stuff out, you are going to be rewarded by such a wonderful, delicious new moon in Sagittarius. There is so much magic around it, and reward and cosmic potential on the level of the galaxy that we probably won't see again for a long time. So by November 27th, I think the new moon is around the 28th for Sagittarius. By then, Venus will have moved into Sagittarius. We'll be feeling a lot more happy. The sun will be there. We'll be done with Mercury retrograde. I think Mars will be in Scorpio. So these things will move on. Things will feel lighter. It'll feel more jovial, especially because of the holidays. But, oh, here's the 27th degree here. So the sign of Sagittarius, it is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter, the gas giant. Jupiter is a planet of miracles, good luck, harmony, windfall, gains. It's the wheel of fortune in the tarot. Sagittarius also is associated with the card of temperance, blending things. Sags tend to be really optimistic. They're the archer because they're the ones, who half man, half horse, the archer with the bow and arrow, because they're so optimistic. They have high goals. They set their minds and their goals really high, and they aim for that all the time. And they're just fun-loving people to be around. Well, Jupiter, the expansive planet, good luck, miracles, is going to be conjunct the sun around November 27th. And not only will the sun and Jupiter be conjunct around the 27th, they're going to be conjunct the galactic center of the universe. Yes, the galactic center of the universe. Think of that place as a portal, as the birthplace of the sun. The ancients all knew about this special place in the Milky Way, and it almost looks like a doorway. The last time Jupiter was there was about 12 years ago. But it wasn't with the sun. We have the sun, the soul force, the life force of our solar system is going to be conjunct Jupiter there. I mean, talk about the galaxy giving us like the giant archer, being the giant archer to just let all of this cosmic energy flow in. It's going to be a jolt, but that's why we want to clear everything out so we have space to take in all the good. The other thing is that Venus is going to be nearby, so it's really going to benefit women and the feminine. So it's, I'm just seeing showers of gold, treasure, just being engulfed in golden light. And it's like the women, the feminine, get the head start because being ruled by Venus, our Venus is going to be really close to there and it's going to catch up. The guys ruled by Mars, well, your planet will be in Scorpio. It's not going to catch up for a couple months. So we ladies really get to leverage this goodness to create and use this abundant energy to be moving forward. And the reason why we want to do that is because now as we get to January, December and January, now we're talking about the dreaded Saturn-Pluto conjunction of January. And these two planets are going to be conjunct. And what they do is they're going to solidify everything. Saturn is a planet that crystallizes things. Pluto is the planet of intensity and depth. So I know you guys know what that feeling, the sense has been lately with that Saturn-Pluto conjunction, feeling like you're having the screws put to you intensely. Again, we have to separate this out from the administration. This is not Donald's power or the Department of Justice's power. That is separate from this, but it's easy to put those two things together and feel very fearful. They really are not that powerful. What you're feeling more is this powerful force that is slowly getting closer and closer together. And when they do that, the lasting power of Saturn, Pluto, and what we're doing, if you are in it has the potential to really set in stone, solidify your foundation with such depth and purity and authenticity that it has lasting power of years, if not decades. I think history will notice this time point of when things changed, or a gauntlet was laid down, or when things broke, or things have been stable ever since then. That's the power of what we're doing. And this new moon in Scorpio is really challenging, but I would like to challenge all of you to embrace your inner Scorpio and really work this new moon energy. Have your pen and paper ready by 11:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time so that you can get a grip of what's going on. And so I'm going to end this video here. This is going to be the first video on the new moon in Scorpio because there's so much that needs to be covered. And what's happening with everyone who I'm doing your readings, Spirit keeps saying to me, their reading, their question needs to be couched in the new moon Scorpio so they can work that energy. So you all have your questions, and I'm like, this is how you're going to ask the question. We're going to put it in a new moon Taroscope so that we can try to figure out what we're doing here and just have the best possible outcome for what we're headed for. Okay, so thank you for listening. Please like my video, please share it, please subscribe, please check your notifications, okay, you guys? And part 2 will be coming soon. I had to get this off my chest because it's just been hounding me. Okay, thank you.